Nah, I'm just playing. What's going on with you, gang? It's early as fuck in the morning. I got that heat though. Today we got that 16-year-old rapper, Atlanta rapper, gets 20 years in prison for killing a 14-year-old in Atlanta. Lil Perk. He done fucked up. He fucked up big time. You 16 and you just got 20 years, my boy. You 16 and you just got 20 years, my boy. For some stupid shit. You know damn well you're supposed to still be up at school. Hey, I don't know the full story. I don't even be listening to Atlanta rappers like that type shit. But this caught my eye just because of how young motherfuckers is. You 16, but you killing a whole 14-year-old. I ain't think that was cool in my eyes. That was like, damn, what kind of shit? Let's watch this shit though.
Made him run, I bet he learned to hell. Tell him pick him up, they zip him up and beat him out as hell. Tell him free the hell. See that boy in school, he like who you like. You can't tell where I'm from. They gon' send him smackers, you can be faster, ain't nowhere to run. Brody took your fight, don't be surprised, go get another gun.
Brody took your fight, don't be surprised, go get another gun. That's crazy.
Tell him let it go. Tell him get on my bed like he a bitch, so I tell him go. Tell him don't down and move around, I need him my time. I get for that key up in that.
The last two defendants in the deadly Atlantic Station shooting have been sentenced. Here are the two victims, 12-year-old Zion Charles and 15-year-old Cameron Jackson. Both were shot and killed at the scene. DeAndre Forston and DeRodney Russell will spend 40 years behind bars.
I did speak to both parents of those victims, and they had a similar message.
Whoa. Doubled them? Did they do a 2-for-1 hit? That's crazy. Did they really just do a 2-for-1 hit? Sentenced to 40 years in prison. DeAndre Forston and DeRodney Russell sentenced to 40 years in prison. Whew. 20 years in custody, 20 years probation. Damn.
Killed at the scene. DeAndre Forston and DeRodney Russell will spend 40 years behind bars.
I did speak to both parents of those victims, and they had a similar message, saying that this situation drastically changed the lives of all involved. But Cameron Jackson's mom took it a step further. She got on the stand, and while looking into the eyes of that suspect who likely pulled the trigger, killing her son, she had a message of grace. Take a listen.
And I forgive you.
It was a heartfelt message for Demetrius Hill, one of the 6 people charged in connection with the shooting near Atlantic Station that claimed the life of 12-year-old Zion Charles and 15-year-old Cameron Jackson.
A lot of emotions. I don't know how to feel. One day I feel like I'm okay, next day I'm not.
Derica Charles is the mother of Zion, one of the children killed when the shots rang out on the 17th Street Bridge as hundreds of children were kicked off Atlantic Station property for violating the city's curfew.
They're all kids. Everybody took a loss. Even mine hit harder, but everybody took a loss.
Sentiments echoed by Cameron's mom, Tiffany Smith.
When you sit in court and you...
I ain't gonna lie, mama, they ain't take a loss because they kids still alive. They got a set date on when they coming back home. You feel me? Like, they ain't take a loss like how you took your loss, shawty. That shit crazy. You had to bury your son. They still get to see their son behind them bars type shit. Y'all ain't both take a loss. You took a loss.
You see the age and you see they're just babies. It's hard. Antonio Jackson's mom came to me and said she was sorry for my loss, and it really got me. Like, for all the moms, it's a loss.
They also seem to be celebrating, making gestures and talking about the shooting.
All smiles and handshakes, but what you don't see is their buddy Zion.
APD says 8th Street, taking his last breaths. But his group, who his mom says he snuck out to meet up with, continued on. During the train ride, they antagonized different customers. They flashed gang signs. Take one more good look. While APD says this guy is the primary shooter, this teen also opened fire and say they believe the third shooter is among the group.
You understand you'd be entering a plea of guilty under counts 1 through 6, which are violations of the Criminal Street Gang Act, each of which is punishable by up to 20 years, as well as 2 counts of the voluntary manslaughter, which also is punishable by up to 20 years. Yes, sir.
Yo, face. Yo, your face, please. With sugar on top.
That's crazy. 20 years. How the fuck would you eat that up? I'm not eating that up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all.
We are always going to be connected.
You'll always be my best friend.
All I need is 1 weekend alone.
Oh, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous_. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous_.
That jacket hard. Sorry, out of favors. That's hard. I need that.
We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, today we're going to visit a story of a young man who pretty much lost his life, but the only difference is he'll still be alive. However, he'll spend the next 20 years behind a prison cell and trying to be everything he sees from his favorite rappers these days, as he would be a suspect in a homicide that left a 14-year-old boy and a 12-year-old boy deceased. From the first glance of the 16-year-old rapper and what he raps about, he mirrors the image of your latest drill rapper, as he's often seen in his videos carrying firearms bigger than the hip that he's attaching it to. And as much as I would like to blame him, I could only blame his parents and the people around him that encourage his behavior. One thing he's going to quickly realize while being incarcerated is that those same people that was hyping him up to carry out his actions are going to be the first to disappear, as he'll stand alone in the prison system. Today we'll be talking about a 16-year-old rapper from Atlanta who was one of 6 guys involved in a deadly shooting that took place a day after Thanksgiving on November 26, 2022. 2 victims were shot and killed, with one being as young as 12 years old. Law enforcement says the shooting was due to back and forth trolling on social media between 2 gangs that turned violent when a group would see one of their rivals at the Atlanta station where there's supposed to be curfew set for the youth. One of the victims actually came with a
curfew set for the youth, but they out there pulling up them fucking pipes, laying pipe like they're plumbers. That shit's crazy. Hell no. Clearly that curfew shit don't work. They tried to give motherfuckers a curfew when they had COVID, didn't work. Tried to give motherfuckers curfew with gun laws, not working. It just ain't working. I don't know how to feel about this shit for real, cause I got kids, and it's like they starting to kill younger and younger. And I know my kids. My son, he a bully. My daughter, she's a sensitive motherfucker, but she can be a bully. And I don't want their personalities to get them hurt in that type of way, you feel me? So it's like, teach all kids boundaries for real. Know when to antagonize a fight and when not to. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
Suspects, but ended up losing his life as the friends he came with left him there, took the train as they celebrated what just happened.
So if you pay attention to the video.
Hold on, I didn't hear that. It said left him there.
Suspects, but ended up losing his life as the friends he came with left him there, took the train as they celebrated what just happened.
So if you pay attention to the video, This is Mr. Zion, the child that's deceased, that's 12 years old. The top left hand with the black and yellow jacket, that's my main shooter. This is right before the shooting incident on 17th Street. The second clip, the black male wearing the blue hoodie with the white letters on the front, he's the second suspect in this incident. These are the same group coming into the MARTA station. That's the Arc Center MARTA station. This is right after the shooting. Again, you see the primary suspect.
Them niggas is dead. That's more than 6 people. Y'all only caught 2 out of the 6. There's more than... That's way more than 6 people. Them niggas was deep. Pulled up, clutched up.
They're getting ready to board the train. They ride the train from different various locations throughout the city. So again, this is immediately after the shooting.
Got so many clips we could shoot a fucking movie. Man.
What I was able to determine through my investigation, all of Zion was killed from this person's bullet. This person is also a part of Zion's group. There was not a back and forth shootout between the second male who's now deceased. So, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. So, we have a group that was in the area, this group here. We have Cameron, who just died yesterday, riding by in the scooter. The gentleman you see here in this video pulled out a handgun, shot multiple shots, directing it at Cameron. Zion took a bullet, indirect shot meant for Cameron. So did the other victims out there. All bullets were meant directed at Cameron. Everybody else was collateral damage from his shooting directed at Cameron.
They've arrested all the suspects so far, and LILPURK was a part of that group and has been sentenced today to 20 years in prison. He will also release a statement following his sentencing, and we're going to get into all that in this video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm and spread awareness to topics such as this in hopes of stopping our kids from dying and or going to jail. So let's dive straight into it. Today it will come out that a young rapper from Atlanta by the name DeAndre Forston, aka LILPURK, will be sentenced to 20 years in prison. Most of us were surprised that a kid of just 16 years old will receive so much time until you hear the story and see the videos LILPURK puts out based on the lifestyle that he was living. LILPURK, along with 5 others, will be charged with the killing of a 14-year-old kid due to their gang affiliation. Reports will say that on November 26, 2002, Atlanta police will be called to Market Street after multiple people were reported shot around 8 p.m. Amongst the suspects are Antonio Jackson, Michael Aziz, Tony Wilson, DeRodney Russell, Demetrius Hill, and DeAndre Forston. Shortly before everything happened, the 2 groups were already removed by an off-duty Atlanta police officer and Atlantic Station security guards for disorderly behavior and curfew violations set by the complex. This would prompt the 2 groups of kids to walk the streets looking for somewhere else to go when they would spot a rival by the name of Cameron Jackson riding a scooter as they would cross the 17th Street Bridge. Someone yelled out, "There goes Cam," and that's where shots would start ringing off, where multiple people will be hit. Reports say that out of the 6 people shot, Cameron and Zion Charles would be the only 2 to succumb to their injuries. It said that Cameron suffered from a single wound to the back of his head and died instantly, while Zion passed away later that night.
That shit be so many. Like, getting hit in your fucking head, your temple, nigga, where you have all your thoughts, your secrets. That's some crazy shit. Just hit your fucking head and have all your secrets just come out. All your thoughts just flow out. That's wild. That's some crazy shit, no disrespect.
Someone yelled out, "There goes Cam," and that's when...
That's crazy. Okay. Yeah. Tell me how fucked up that is, nigga. You just walking, eating a slushie. There go Deuce. That's crazy.
Shots will start ringing off where multiple people will be hit. Reports say that out of the 6 people shot, Cameron and Zion Charles would be the only 2 to succumb to their injuries. It said that Cameron suffered from a single wound to the back of his head and died instantly, while Zion passed away later that night. Out of everyone shot that night, they were all just hit in the crossfire, as the only person who was the intended target was Cameron. But get this, Zion Charles were friends with the suspects and came to the Atlanta station with the same suspects who fired the deadly shots that ended his life. It said that Zion was hit by friendly fire and lost his life in the crossfire of it all. However, watching the surveillance of after everything transpired in the MARTA station shows that none of the kids seemed to care that they left their friend behind to die as they celebrated what just happened. Zion's mom, Derica Charles, stated that Zion was supposed to be over his friend's house, but instead, he snuck to the station with his group of friends. The same group of friends that left him there as he would lose his life at only 12 years old. Now, when it comes to the beef between the 2 gangs, despite Cameron's family saying that they don't believe he was in one, it's reported that LILPURK's crew and Cameron had been threatening each other over Instagram prior, and violent disputes between them have happened prior as well. It said that the group stalked Cameron to Atlanta station, assuming that's where he'd be because he free.
Yeah, I hate when they be trying to ask the parents and shit about they kids' outside life, because in reality, the parents don't know shit. Parents want to act clueless like they wasn't doing the same shit that they kids is doing. You feel me? No matter if it's your mama or your daddy, your mama is out there motherfucking hanging with the bangers too, hanging with the drug dealers too, going to clubs too, doing what the fuck she ain't supposed to do too. Same with your daddy. You feel me? It's just like a never-ending cycle. Motherfuckers just do the same thing, and then you got the other motherfuckers who got good seeds as kids. The kids that don't do shit to get in trouble. The kids that are choir boys, you feel me? Choir girls type shit. But yeah, like y'all motherfuckers gotta understand you can't hold your kids' hands throughout the whole journey of life. They gotta deal with that shit themselves too.
Frequently be there, so when they seen him, they just began firing. I'm assuming that Cameron was stalked on Instagram through stories or his live. However, they knew he would be there and came across him when they would pursue his location. The 6 will be charged as adults for the crime, even though all of them are 16 or younger, and I think one of them being 17. They all shared different roles in the shooting, with some being more than others, and took different plea deals according to their individual involvement. They were all arrested separately. As of October 9th, 2023, APD would say they've made all 6 arrests. A week following the shooting, 2 of the suspects were arrested, where one of them were even arrested in New York, despite both suspects being students in the Atlanta public school system. Both of the suspects were described as shooters of the group. Then on December 12, 2022, another suspect was arrested, believed to be Tony Wilson from Clay County. Rodney Russell was the 4th suspect to be arrested on March 5th, 2023 by Clayton County Sheriff's Office deputies. Then on March 20th, 2023, APD said they arrested 2 other teens involved in the shooting in 2 separate parts of the city. Demetrius Hill entered a plea deal where he was sentenced to 40 years with 30 to serve in prison and the rest on probation upon release. He was charged the most, being that he pointed his gun at the victim. Tony Wilson entered a negotiation plea of guilt to 2 counts of voluntary manslaughter and violating the Criminal Street Gang Act. He was sentenced to 40 years with 20 to be served in prison and the rest on probation upon his release. He also must testify in court as well. Now, Antonio Jackson entered an Alford plea deal on 2 counts of violating the Criminal Street Gang Act and was sentenced to 20 years with 10 to be served in prison and the rest on probation upon
That's crazy. They getting out jersey numbers to these little niggas.
release. Prosecutors say he shot twice into the air and not at others. So yeah, he shot his weapon, but it wasn't with any intention on hitting anyone, as his attorney pointed out that he aimed and shot at the sky. Plus, unlike his other co-defendants, he actually turned himself in after seeing his face on the news after the incident took place. It's also noted that he wasn't part of any of the back and forth on social media between the rivals and haven't participated in any violent acts prior. Michael Aziz entered into a plea deal which he received 10 years with 5 to serve in prison and the rest on probation upon release. He was booked on felony murder, and an aggravated assault back in August amongst other charges as well. Now when it comes to DeRodney Russell and DeAndre Forston, aka LILPURK, it was both sentenced to 40 years. Now they was originally hit with murder, but the charges were brought down to manslaughter. They'll both have to serve at least 20 years in prison and 20 years on probation upon release. Now after being sentenced, LILPURK would take to his Instagram account in his story to say, quote, "To all my family and fans, I would like to sincerely apologize to y'all and to all the younger generation looking up to me. Let me and my situation be a lesson learned for our whole generation. Everything not what it seemed, and I'm still pleading my innocence. I love you, Lil Hot, and to the families hurt by this situation, forgive me also, still keeping faith alive forever." Now this is the thing, he says he's pleading his innocence, but all it takes is a brief look on his Instagram or even on YouTube or anywhere on social media and see the type of antics that he puts in his music videos, in his pictures, and it's going to be hard for him to say that he's innocent. I don't know if he's going to try to do an appeal, I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, when you start putting things like this on social media, it can hurt you. Because if you rapping about killing, sliding, showing guns in your videos and you're only 16, I mean, at the end of the day, it's but so much you could do to try to convince people that you are, in fact, innocent.
Actually, I beg to differ. Motherfuckers getting around that lyrics being used in court and shit. You feel me? Lyrics being used against you in the court of law. Like, motherfuckers is getting around that shit, talking about some. They could easily say, "Oh, my homeboys helped me with that verse. Oh, my homeboys told me to do this type of shit just to get famous so I can get the money because this is what's in right now." Yada yada yada. Like, man, there's so many ways that they can bypass that shit. You just gotta know the system.
And I don't know what he was trying to say in that message, because as you read the part where he says everything's not what it seems, I wonder what he mean by that. And not to mention, he sounds like a total different person than what the image he gives off on social media and in his music. And I know exactly why. He's just another kid that didn't understand the consequences of his actions because he was just following what he sees, and that's the problem. He seems like he realized he messed up, but at this point, it's way too late. And if you didn't do your research on this case, the way the media has painted this picture is that LILPURK himself was the one that deceased somebody, but it's nowhere near the case. You know, and maybe that's what he means by everything is not what it seemed. But however, he can't really say what he didn't or did do, because then he'll be labeled, you know, what they call a snitch.
A rat.
And it don't go with the image that he has out there. But this is the life he chose, so it's not too much we can say about that. It's just an unfortunate situation. And when I point out that these rappers that preach negativity to the youth for years and then suddenly want to change their life and act like they're the best role models ever, and y'all say things like, "Hookah, you can't be mad at people when they try to change their life," and no, I'm not mad at that, but this is a perfect example of exactly what I refer to. When you out here encouraging kids to trap or die like Jeezy did, or encouraging them to spin blocks and etc., even when you change your life, that message you put out there at one point in time did damage to somebody at some point in time. Damage that they can't come back from. You telling people trap or die made that man go sell drugs thinking he was doing good and providing for his family, and now he ended up with 10 years. That's 10 years away from his family that he can't change just because Jeezy changed his life. Get it? And that was my whole point. Now looking at this kid, whoever he listened to as influence to rap about what he rapped about, what they gonna tell him now? What can they tell him now? He just got 20 years at 16 years old and won't be home until he's 36 years old. And by that time, what is he gonna do? Life pretty much over. So this is the point of everything I try to express when I say that these guys may have changed their lives, and kudos to them, but a lot of the time, they done already caused too much damage within the culture and the community. The damage is done. And that's unfortunate because these kids are kids. So much that they could barely shoot. They hit a total of 6 people, with one of those people being their actual target, and they also killed their own friend in the process. So what does that say about them?
That's crazy.
Alright, so y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this.
Nigga, I'd be hot if I'm and my homeboy accidentally clip my shit in the back of my motherfucking head or back, and then nigga just leave me there. Oh, I'd be hot, nigga. Oh, I'd be hot. What the fuck? Y'all ain't really the bros. And then y'all go off celebrating knowing damn well I'm on the ground dying. But y'all celebrating another nigga death? Please.
Like I said, it seems like LILPURK is remorseful, and you know he now understands his actions, but he's been incarcerated for a little time now. So you know, anytime they gotta sit down, especially being a kid, where you don't really understand what's going on, it'll do that to you. But it's a little too late for all that. So y'all jump in the comments, let me know how y'all feel about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching.
Alright, gang, if you made it this far, like, comment, share, and hit that sub button. Shoot, it's tragic what these kids is doing to each other nowadays. Niggas used to go to the court and just get some new friends just by hooping and shit. Like, now niggas is beefing and shooting, and it's just getting younger and younger. That shit crazy. But this your boy Deuce. I'm gonna catch you on the next video, gang.